Thank you very much, Chairman Roger Wicker, and it's really impressive today that we have bipartisan participation in support of the people of Ukraine. While the title of the hearing is The Cost of a Bad Deal, the only individual standing in the way of peace in Ukraine is war criminal Putin. President Trump has graciously offered Putin a way out of the horrific mess that Putin created, yet Putin continues to insult and mock President Trump, killing the people of Ukraine as they're in their homes. With the Putin invasion of February 24, 2022, the Russian troops were misled to be prepared with their dress uniforms for immediately a victory parade. But instead, the courageous President Vladimir Zelensky and the brave Ukrainian people have stood firm and made such a difference on behalf of liberty and freedom in the world. Putin victory in Ukraine would be a catastrophe, not just for the people of Ukraine, but for every country living in the shadow of the Kremlin's imperial ambitions. Putin is waging a campaign of extermination against free people, so only crime is choosing liberty over tyranny. And he seeks to resurrect the failed Soviet Union. The stakes of the war stretch far beyond Ukraine's borders. If Putin is allowed to succeed, there will be more battered countries than Ukraine. We already see that Belarus has descended further into dictatorship, and we know that the actual president of Belarus is Svetlana Tsikhanovskaya, and so she should be recognized as a legitimate president. Additionally, we see that Moldova has been destabilized with the Russian troops still remaining in Transnistria and never leaving in the Soviet era. Armenia, which is such a great country and is really so strong today, could be dragged back into and be subverted by Putin. And then the Republic of Georgia was crushed under the weight of the puppet regime by Putinists. And also we have NATO allies of the Baltics that are threatened by Putin's attempt to resurrect the failed Soviet Union. I have been very fortunate to see firsthand the people of these countries want democracy, prosperity, and peace. But Putin wants just the opposite. He wants them poor, dependent, divided, and afraid. In Belarus, he props up the illegitimate regime of Alexander Lukashenko, who violently crushed the protests and invited the Russian troops to maintain order. And again, the legitimate president is Svetlana Tsikhanovskaya. And additionally, in Moldova, Russian troops having never left Transnistria and trying to subvert the most recent elections, unfortunately, the people of Moldova stood firm. In Armenia, even as the people turned toward the West, and with such an incredible Armenian-American community supporting, Russia has worked to undermine their sovereignty through military blackmail and economic pressure. Putin doesn't stop at propping up friendly dictators. He sows chaos wherever he can. He arms and finances extremists, spreads disinformation, exploits ethnic divisions to pit neighbors against neighbors. His goal is simple: to make democracy look weak and autocracy and authoritarianism inevitable. That is why peace in Ukraine on Ukraine's terms is critically important. A just and lasting peace will not only liberate Ukraine, it will send a message to Moscow, other neighbors, that freedom still has defenders and tyranny still has consequences. It will strengthen the hand of reformers and weaken the grip of corrupt regimes backed by Putin. And make no mistake, this matters to American families. Putin victory will not continue to Eastern Europe. It will embolden America's enemies everywhere. But a Ukrainian victory will reinforce the message that aggression does not pay, and America stands for its values and interests alike. As I believe in America first, you must also believe in Putin last. A world where Moscow dominates its neighbors is not a world safe for American families or our allies. I yield back.